The courtroom sank into a heavy, uneasy silence as the judge's gavel cracked against the wooden desk. All eyes turned toward the teenager at the defense table, her hands folded neatly before her. She looked small, swallowed in a suit too large for her frame, her face calm, almost unnervingly so, for someone about to be publicly humiliated. Judge Mitchell narrowed his eyes, a faint sneer curling his lips. "Is this some kind of joke?" he muttered just loud enough for the entire room to catch. Adjusting his glasses, he glanced down at the girl with a smirk. "You're telling me this is your lawyer?" Her name was Claire Dawson, a name no one in the legal world had ever heard. To the crowd, she was nothing more than another lost, wide-eyed teenager, hopelessly out of place in a courtroom full of legal giants. After hours of waiting, they had been stunned when this young girl strode in and declared she would defend the accused in a high-profile fraud case. Murmurs rippled through the gallery. Was this some elaborate prank? A cruel trick? But Claire didn't flinch. She locked eyes with the judge, her expression unreadable, as though her mind were somewhere else entirely. She had prepared her whole life for this. The question wasn't whether she would win, it was how. And no one in the room had the faintest idea what she was truly capable of. The prosecutor, a seasoned attorney with decades of trial experience, stood tall and unshaken. Her sharp suit and sharper gaze sliced through the courtroom as she fixed Claire with a look of disdain. "This trial isn't a game, young lady," she warned, her tone dripping with contempt. But what was Claire thinking? She didn't look nervous in the slightest. To her, this felt more like a casual conversation than a high-stakes trial. What could possibly drive someone so young to take on odds like these? The judge mocked her openly. The prosecutor towered with professional superiority, and time was running out. Each passing second felt like a countdown to disaster. Yet Claire remained more composed than anyone else present. Would she crumble under the weight, or was there something hidden inside this unassuming teenager that no one dared imagine? Claire had never lived like other kids her age. While her peers filled their days with malls, gossip, and fleeting trends, she haunted library aisles, dissecting case law and criminal statutes. What began as an escape from a troubled home life, her single mother, once a rising star in the legal world, had crumbled into self-doubt and left law behind, had turned into Claire's obsession. But Claire wasn't going to fade away like her mother. She refused. She would not be forgotten. Her mother's fall from grace lit the fire inside her, but it was more than just revenge or ambition. Claire knew she had something far greater: brilliance. Only no one else knew it yet. When the trial finally began, Claire felt the crushing weight of the courtroom pressing on her. Every gaze was fixed on her as the prosecutor launched into her opening statement. Claire's mind worked furiously, every word, every fact, every angle snapping into place. This was the moment. The trial was hers to lose. Then the judge slammed his gavel once more, frustration boiling over. "Enough with these games," he barked. "If you don't bring in a real attorney, this case will be dismissed." Something inside Claire snapped. Her heart pounded, but her mind was crystal clear. Now or never. She stood, startling the entire courtroom, and strode to the front. Without speaking, she motioned for the prosecutor to sit. Gripping the edge of the table, she fixed Judge Mitchell with a steady gaze. "Your Honor," she said, her voice calm, measured, commanding, "I am the attorney on this case, and I will prove I am more than capable of defending my client." The room fell silent. Her confidence seemed absurd, almost laughable to the veterans in the chamber. The prosecutor, the judge, the other lawyers, they dismissed her with smug glances. To them, she was just a child playing dress-up. But Claire didn't need their belief. She only needed her own, and slowly, as the trial unfolded, her brilliance began to emerge. She tore apart the prosecution's case piece by piece, spotting contradictions no one else had noticed. She asked questions that left even veteran attorneys fumbling for words. The balance in the room began to shift, but the trial was about more than legal sparring. Claire could feel forces at work in the shadows, people who would stop at nothing to silence her. There was far more at stake than this one case. Then came the turning point. Claire unearthed a buried email, hidden under layers of deceit. It linked the prosecutor directly to the corporation on trial. The entire case hung in the balance. If she exposed it, the prosecutor would be destroyed, and Claire's own safety would be jeopardized. The courtroom erupted into chaos. The judge grew hostile, the prosecutor furious, and Claire's client, an innocent man facing ruin, looked at her with desperate eyes. Worse, a private threat reached her. Her mother was being targeted. This wasn't just about her career anymore. It was about survival. For the first time, Claire doubted. Was justice worth risking everything? But in the end, standing before the jury with her heart racing and the damning evidence clutched in hand, she made her choice. "I'm not backing down," she declared. "I will show you the truth." Piece by piece, she dismantled the prosecution's lies until nothing was left but the truth. And when the verdict came, not guilty, the courtroom gasped. Claire had done it. Months later, she sat alone in her apartment, watching the fallout unfold on the news. The prosecutor disbarred, the case a national scandal, her name now spoken with awe. But Claire knew her real victory wasn't in headlines. It was in the quiet triumph of knowing she had proven herself. She had shattered expectations, taken down giants, and shown that brilliance can emerge from the unlikeliest places. And this was only the beginning. What battles would she face next? What cases, what fights awaited her in the world of law? The real question is, do you believe anyone, no matter how young, can topple giants? Or was this victory a once-in-a-lifetime miracle? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to hear more stories of courage, brilliance, and unexpected twists, don't forget to subscribe, because what's coming next, you won't want to miss.